Okay, I'm sure that you guys know that Vince has been my mentor for 20 something years, and I always see him giving the best advice, not only to new loan officers that start the business, but also loan officers that feel stuck and loan officers that are struggling at the moment. And one of the things that I like to get from him is, what is his advice? What does he recommend loan officers do, especially now during these hard times?
Thank you for that. But my tip is always going to be traditional. They don't really change. I believe they stand the test of time. But the most important thing is marketing, all right? Because you have to think about it that if you could be the best loan officer, you could be the best realtor, but if no one knows you exist, you got no business. It's just the way it is. So my advice in today's time is that, hey, there's so much technology out there right now that can help you with marketing. I mean, I understand that when I would talk to loan officers before, but I don't know how to do this. How do I get started? It's just too much learning, and I gotta, do my loans. But technology has made it so easy for people to just plug and play, set up, push button type of marketing. So I would always say marketing. And for those that are doing this full time and they've seen the market shift on them, kind of rug just got pulled out from them, what else can they do? That's related to the field. You're in finances. You know how many things are related to finances that you can help individuals, whether it's debt consolidation, whether it's insurance, whether it's tax strategy, whether it's investment. It's all financial related that you can kind of pivot and partner with people, do some affiliate agreements, and work through that to earn an extra income while the market has shifted and while you're waiting for it to shift again.
So another question I would like to ask you is, let's say you have an LO that says, I just left my corporate job. I was making $150,000, $200,000 a year, and I know that I can make that and some in sales and being a loan officer. What would be kind of like your advice, and what recommendations would you give so they can earn that? Or what game plan would you give them?
Yeah, that hasn't really changed. Back then, it was the same. Maybe a little bit more challenging now, but you definitely need to serve. You just can't. You're making a high salary, 100,000, 200,000. You understand that it takes time to build what they call a sales pipeline. It's not going to happen overnight. So I recommend individuals that are trying to do a transition like that to build up a reserve.
How many months?
Well, I used to tell people before 6 months. Now I'm telling individuals 9 months to a year because with the marketing. But again, you don't have to go this alone. You don't have to go at it alone. You can do partnerships with experienced LOs. There's a bunch of LOs that are successful and they are crushing it, they're killing it, and yet their pipeline is just sitting there as far as like their database, their client database, or realtors that they haven't reached out to in a while. You can work with an experienced loan officers that maybe neglecting their database, that you can work and already start building that pipeline much faster through a partnership agreement. So those are the kind of things that I always recommend.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. And one of the things also is kind of like know your numbers, right? So we kind of love to go over this with loan officers where we reverse engineer. Like, okay, if your desire of income is at $200,000. Well, what does that exactly mean? How many loans would you need to fund to make the $200,000? So we break it down by closings, then how many pre-approvals we have to send, how many phone calls do we need to make, how many leads we need to have, and how many realtors do we need to pursue or establish a relationship with. And then we break it down as far as like A realtors, B realtors, C realtors. I mean, there's a formula for that. So if anyone is interested to get our formula on the reverse engineer aspect of things and how you can hold yourself accountable, feel free to reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to share that worksheet. Anything else before we close?
That's it. Comment below formula. We'll set that right to you.